Hi, welcome everybody. It's Mike Newton here at Lytham Golf Academy. I've got a blade head for you here, and two real crackers in my opinion. I've got the new TaylorMade P730 Iron. Okay, so this is their true blade iron that they've just launched. I'm going to put it up against the new Titleist 718 MB iron. So obviously Titleist is real pure blade iron from them. So two obviously real classic irons here, you know, with a blade. There's not a massive amount of technology you can sort of put into these heads. It's really just a very classic looking golf club for the ultimate ball strike here, in terms of getting some feedback on strike, on shaping the golf ball through feel, real ultimate control of that golf ball here. These irons aren't geared by any means in terms of distance finding. Okay, they're both 7 irons here. They're both 35 degrees of loft, so very true lofted golf clubs here. So by no means these are distance-seeking golf clubs. Very much for the player who wants that ultimate sort of control. Okay, so I've got GC2, HM2 set up down here. So I'm going to hit bat shots with each of these irons. Maybe just give you guys a little bit of feedback between the looks of these two irons. A little bit of the feel. I'm guessing they're going to be both going to feel really good here, and maybe we'll have a look at some performance numbers on the simulator here and see how the spin ties in. Maybe that little bit of distance there possibly as well. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the TaylorMade P730 Iron, which is obviously, as I'm shooting this video, it's only just been released probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago here. So brand new iron to the market, and it's very much a true blade, which when we look at the loft here, 7 iron, 35 degrees for a TaylorMade iron. A lot of you are thinking, wow, that's a bit more normal. But obviously this type of iron is very much aimed at that, you know, that ultimate play. It's very tour, authentic sort of golf club here. So I have done a review of this on my channel already, so I will pop a little link up here and you can go and check that out. But I mean, presenting that down by the golf ball, it looks ace. It looks brilliant. It's just very small, very compact head, very little offset, if anything at all there. Very sort of medium, probably to slim top line, just a very compact head. I think when you put it behind the ball there, it makes the golf ball look bigger, because obviously the head is pretty small here. So this is very much aimed at the real good ball striker out there. So let's get this first one here. I've got the green set up at 170 yards out. So we'll get this first one hit. Yeah, that was a lovely strike. It's a high ball flight. We're going to expect that from this type of iron. 35 degrees of loft. That's hitting the green really nicely there. And that's carrying out at 166. So obviously not the biggest hitting club there in terms of distance. But as I say, with that particular loft here, you know, there's not a lot of technology that can pump into this head. There's no tungsten in there. You know, there's no speed slots or anything like that. It's just a pure sort of bladed golf club. Okay, right, that was a little bit low in the face, and I felt that through my hands. And obviously this is where this type of iron, just not going to give that forgiveness. There's no sort of buffers around this club to help you out on those little miss hits there. And that was definitely low in the face, definitely felt that through my fingers. It's a bit cold down here at Lytham today, and I've definitely felt that through the fingers there. Still hit the green there, but I'm guessing probably a little bit of drop off on probably distance there, but definitely a big difference of feel there. Yeah, it's great. That's a nice strike. Just found that green again nicely there. Yeah, it looks to be stopping fairly quickly. Carrying 163 there. Yeah, spinning about 6,200. So good sort of spin number there. As I say, it's not a long hitting golf club. There's other 7 irons on the market. I can get up to 180 carry. Okay, high 70s. This is sort of low 60s, and that's purely because of that loft situation here. But distance isn't a big thing for me. It's not an aspect that I really need. I want that sort of control, and I feel that's where these sort of irons do give me that control with a spin number. Oh, that felt great. Struck that one really well. Felt really good off the club face there. The feedback you can get through these irons are really top quality. You know, I don't think there's anything that can really beat the feel you're going to get through these irons. Okay, right. So there's 4 shots hit with the Titleist. The TaylorMade P730. So we're going to switch over to Titleist MB now. Hit 4 with that, and then we'll check out some numbers in a little bit more detail. Right, so Titleist 708 MB, they're real true bladed iron, and I tell you what, it looks great. I think as again, present that down by the golf ball, it is a very similar look to the TaylorMade there. I'd probably say the toe section's a little bit more rounded, but again, there's very little offset, medium to thin top line here, and very squat sort of compact head, which you're going to see with a lot of bladed golf clubs on the market now. The soles are quite thin on these. I'd say the Titleist is a little bit thinner than the TaylorMade here, so that helps a little bit with turf interaction, trying to sort of control the blade coming through the turf, bit of shot shaping. But I tell you what, it's a great looking golf club there, you know, and as you would expect, you know, Titleist do make good looking golf clubs here. So I'm going to get this first one hit. Again, same distance away from the pin here, 170. It's the first one I hit. That's great. Feels super. Again, high ball flight there. Wouldn't expect that. 35 degrees of loft. That's got out there quite a bit actually, which is nice. 171 carry there. Okay, a little bit lower on the spin there. I did catch that a touch heely, but it flighted very nicely. So that's probably just dropped a little bit of spin off there, maybe. Okay, not the purest of strikes that. I've hit target really well there. Again, that was a little bit low in the face, similar to that TaylorMade strike I had, which was a touch low in the face. Okay, so again, I'm guessing that spin's probably going to drop down a little bit more like it did with the TaylorMade, purely of the strike situation there, but I definitely felt that up the shaft into my hands again. And that's unfortunately the downside maybe to these bladed golf clubs here, because they haven't got that buffer around the head, as I mentioned earlier. You don't get that sort of feedback and that sort of help from the golf club. If you miss that CG placement in the head, you're going to know about it a little bit more, and I certainly did then. Feels really, really good. Just push that slightly there, but just cut that right edge of the green there. But again, strike was pretty good there. Felt really, really good. Okay, that spin's a little bit low there, which surprises me a little bit. Probably expect that to be a little bit higher there, but it is a little bit low. Yeah, again, look, pretty good strike there. Just not quite as accurate with that one. In terms of shot shape, I just pulled that touch there, 172, spin 6-2, a little bit up there. Again, a little bit different to the strike. That was probably a better strike there, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so let's have a look at some numbers in a little bit more detail between those two irons. Right, so number time, guys. So TaylorMade on the top, Titleist on the bottom here. So club head speed pretty much the same. Ball speed just getting a little bit more out of that Titleist there. Again, I think we're just maybe striking that a touch better there, but just a little bit more ball speed there. Launching exactly the same there. Now this is surprising me a little bit. I'm expecting this spin number to be a little bit higher, to be honest. Now, granted, I didn't strike all those absolutely great. There's some good strikes, there's some bit low in the face sort of strikes there. And I think this is where a blade iron would sort of punish you a little bit more, maybe with a spin number here when you miss in the middle, where you haven't got that buffer around to really sort of help on keeping the sort of spin there in a way. But I sort of see that like second one there was definitely a thinner shot. You see that's really dropped off my spin number there with the TaylorMade. Titleist there again, the second one was quite thin. First one too bad, but you see then there's one at 6.2, so you got to look at it as an average there. So both just under that 6,000 spin number there. Maybe expecting them to be more sort of between 6 and maybe 6.5 there. I mean, I do generally struggle with my spin numbers and keeping it up. You know, I do find certain irons do drop it off more than others, but that's, again, strike, we'll go way into that a little bit. So 165 carry against 169 there with the Titleist. So Titleist just getting a little bit more with a touch more ball speed there and just squeezing out a little bit more yards. But to be honest, not a great deal in it there, to be fair. Okay guys, so there we have it, two real sort of players irons there, and probably for me personally, I would love probably a set of these, either one of these in my golf bag, because they just look amazing. And I think it's something we always sort of strive to, maybe dream of playing with like a bladed set of golf clubs. Now, back into reality, I probably wouldn't get a set of these, just purely because I don't feel my ball striking is as consistent as it probably could be. Now, granted, I don't play a great deal of golf. I'm just really sort of hitting balls in the range here, so I'm not playing a massive amount. I'm not really hitting a lot of golf balls here, so I'm not as sharp as probably what I would do if I was playing a lot more. So for that pure reason, I would probably go more into sort of a small cavity iron. I do want that nice look though, which a lot of these cavity irons do provide. So for instance, maybe like in the TaylorMade range, it might be P750 or P770. In the Titleist range, we could be looking like AP2 in there, or even a CB iron, you know, a little bit of cavity. Just give me that little bit of help, because I just feel like I feel a bit nervous in a way putting it down by the golf ball, because I know I've got to hit the middle, otherwise it's a bit like it's game over in a way, or I might just not make that carry that I need to make on the golf course, and that just puts a bit of pressure on me, which I don't really want, to be honest. But having said that, you can't take it away from the strike. If you strike one of these golf clubs, it's I think one of the best feelings you're going to get, you know, through golf. Is striking a blade iron pure. There's nothing beats it in my eyes. But again, this is something for you guys to go out there and test yourselves. Are you a good enough ball striker to play with these? Possibly a split combo set is a good option here. So maybe those longer irons, you might put something a little bit more, sort of that smaller cavity in there, give you like a little bit of help. It's going to short irons and scoring irons, you might want that real consistency there, that real sort of more feedback and shaping of the golf ball a little bit more. But again, you need to go out there and test these yourself. Okay, so two really good irons, Titleist MB against the P730 from TaylorMade. Okay, let me know your views, comment down below. I'd be interested to hear your comments there if you've tested these, or if this is a sort of set that is on your sort of bucket list in a way. You know, do fire a comment down below, let me know. Do follow me up on my social media platforms there, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All the links are in my description below. Obviously hit that subscribe button if you can, much appreciated, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.